All right, let's get started. Let me share a screen first. Today's call hopefully is going to be front loaded with information, but I'm going to try to go through this as fast as I can. I want to answer your questions around Amazon PPC, not what I think should be answered, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to cover the main things and a little bit of advanced stuff here and there as well. Because I can talk about this literally for hours or hundreds of hours, we're going to talk about strategy and then we're going to talk about actionable stuff. The two main strategies when it comes to advertising in general and advertising on Amazon specifically. One, I call it the max sales, and the other one is max profits. So, one, the goal is to maximize sales, to get as many sales as you possibly can, right? The other one is maximize profits, get as much profit per unit as you possibly can. Let's have a look here at what are these strategies, when do we use them, and how do we use them. So the max sales strategy, obviously we're maximizing sales, we're maximizing revenue. Here, we don't care so much if we sacrifice a little bit of profit margin, but we want to, for some reason, get as many sales as possible. For example, if you're using the bestseller strategy that we talked about last call, if you're trying to rank for keywords, if you're trying to be the bestseller, rank on the top of the first page on Amazon for specific search terms. During launch, you want to sell as many units as possible from day one. Amazon algorithm picks you up and you start ranking, right? So this is one of the cases that you would use that kind of strategy. When do you use it? Bestseller strategy if you're looking for organic ranking. But how to use it, we're going to use a very aggressive PPC approach. We're going to talk about everything in details when it comes to that. So the components of any Amazon strategy will be keywords, bids, budgets, and match types. These are the main things that you need to know and you need to look at and are very different between these two strategies. The second strategy here is the maximize profits, the max profits strategy. What is it? Make as much profit as you can per unit. When do you use it? In a smooth sailing strategy. For example, if you're trying to test that product out, trying to test your idea, just want to make sure you ordered 100 units or 200 units or 500 units or 1,000 units. So you're not going so big and you want to test an idea and your product has enough margin in it to only sell with ads. Now you don't want to get as many sales as possible, but you want to be as profitable as possible when it comes to every single sale. So how we do that, we go with a very conservative PPC approach. And again, we're going to talk about all the differences between these in just a sec. Now, let's get to keywords. The first thing and the most important thing, search terms and keywords. These are the biggest things that you need to think of when it comes to Amazon, right? The first set of keywords here are going to be defense keywords. What does this mean? Defense is basically you're defending your own product and you're defending your own brand name. So these keywords are going to be, for example, for Diskello are going to be Diskello. This is one keyword. Diskello Ergo Combo. This is another keyword. Diskello Keyboard Stand. The only purpose here is to defend my own brand. But why would we do that? On Amazon, other sellers can target your brand name as a search term or keyword and show their ads under that keyword. For example, if I'm selling Diskello Ergo Combo, my competitors can target that as a keyword, put that keyword in their campaigns. And whenever someone searches for Diskello Ergo Combo, if there are 5 sellers that are bidding for that keyword, that means the first row are going to be full of other products that are not mine. So they search for Diskello Ergo Combo, but they still haven't seen my product on the first page yet, right? This is very dangerous. Now I'm losing sales that are specifically searching for my brand and my products. So this is why we have the defense campaigns, just to defend our own brand name and our own product name, right? So the keywords here are going to be Diskello Ergo Combo, and anything like that, your own brand name. And then the next step is going to be the super relevant keywords. What are these? These are keywords that are super relevant to your product that exactly describe what your product is. These are super relevant keywords. The third level will be relevant keywords. These are keywords that are relevant to my product, but are not closely describing my product exactly. And then we have broader keyword or broad keywords. And then the highest level will be generic keywords. These are keywords, think of it like gifts for men, gifts for women, gifts for mom, gifts for Christmas, desk accessories. Of course, my product is still a desk accessory, but this is a very generic keyword that describes so many other products. Why I put this here? Because this, number one, is very important to understand when it comes to planning which keywords to target. Something else very important, that I want you to use these keywords as the names and the structure of your campaigns inside your Amazon ads. I don't want you to create one campaign that has keywords that are generic and relevant and super relevant inside of it. Now, this campaign, the performance will vary so much between the super relevant keywords and the relevant keywords and the generic keywords. I'm going to give you an example for you to understand this 100%. If someone searched for this example and they found my product, how likely are they going to convert? Very likely to convert, right? Very likely to make the purchase. So the CVR here, the conversion rate, is going to be very high. And how likely are they to click on my listing? The CTR here, the click-through rate, is also going to be very high. But what would that do? If my CTR is very high and my CVR is very high, that means my cost of acquisition will be very low. But again, if the keywords that I'm targeting are not super relevant, then my click-through rate will go down and my conversion rate will go down for these specific keywords. So if I combine these keywords in one campaign, I'm going to have extremely messy data that I cannot work with. So I want you to also separate these in separate campaigns. For example, you're going to create one campaign for defense, one campaign for super relevant keywords, and one campaign for relevant keywords, and so on. Max sales strategy here. Now you're trying to maximize sales, right? So you're going to go in the beginning with defense campaigns, super relevant campaigns, and broad campaigns. All of these you're going to start with from day one. Why? Because again, you're trying to get as many sales as you can, because you're trying to let the algorithm know that you're here, because you're trying to rank, because you're trying to get organic sales. For example, the bestseller strategy. But in the maximize profits strategy, here, we don't want to get too many sales at any cost. We want to get sales only when we're profitable and only scale when we're already profitable. So we're only going to start with these two types of keywords: defense keywords and super relevant keywords. If we're not profitable at the super relevant campaign level, there's no way we can be profitable in the relevant or generic or broad campaign levels. You know what I mean? Because again, the broader you go, the lower your click-through rate will be, the lower your conversion rate will be, and the higher your cost of acquisition will be. So if I'm not profitable at the most fundamental level, the most relevant keywords, the super relevant keywords, there's no way I'm going to be profitable for the generic ones. When you start with the defense and super relevant keywords, that doesn't mean that you're only gonna have these and you're not gonna touch the relevant or the broad or the generic keywords. You can start these as soon as week 2, for example. If you're already seeing good results from the super relevant keywords, you can start from week 2, start already targeting relevant keywords first, and then if it's profitable, you go for the broad keywords and you go for the generic keywords. If you're going for maximizing sales, you're going to start with the first 4 types of campaigns. But if you're going maximizing profits, you're only going to start with the first 2 and then scale with the other 3. PPC strategy in general has many components inside of it. Here, we're going to talk about 3 other things: bids strategy, match types, and budget. In the max sales strategy here, the bids are very aggressive, above Amazon suggested bids. So for example, if I'm creating a campaign now and Amazon tells me that the suggested bid for this specific keyword is $2, I'm going to bid $3. Why? Because I don't want to spend 1 second not showing on the top of the first page. Because again, I want to get as many sales as possible. And I don't care about how much profit now. I only care about how many sales I can get. Match types. I wanted to understand what are the match types. So the basic match types are exact match, phrase match, and broad match, right? What are these? Give you a few examples for you to understand it. An exact match, your ad is only going to show if the search term equals exactly the keyword that in your campaign. So for example, if your keyword is laptop stand in an exact match form, your ad is only going to show if people search exactly for laptop stand and that's it. If they search for laptop stand for desk, metal laptop stand, you're not going to show, right? And then the next level is the phrase match campaign. This is a broader level. A phrase match campaign, exactly. I'm targeting the same keyword here, but as a phrase match, laptop stand, I'm going to show for laptop stand for desk, metal laptop stand. So if there's a word before it, a word after it, or a word in the middle, no matter the order of the words, your ad is still going to show. The third one is broad. Broad is the worst and the broader, right? So broad, you're basically giving Amazon the freedom to go ahead and show your ads for any keywords that they think is relevant to that search term. So for example, a laptop stand in broad will show for laptop stand for desks. This is a phrase match. It will also show for laptop desk stands. Now there's one word in the middle, but it will also show for keywords and search terms that doesn't necessarily have laptop or stand in the search term at all. So for example, a MacBook holder, you will still going to show for that keyword. Laptop stand and MacBook holder as words, they're completely different. But Amazon thinks that MacBook means laptop and holder means stand. So they will just show your ad for that. So these are the main match types. In the max sales strategy, you're going to use all of these. You want to get as many clicks, as many impressions as possible, as many clicks as possible, as many sales as possible, right? The same exact keyword, you're going to target it in a phrase match campaign, in an exact match campaign, and in a broad match campaign. All these campaigns should be separate. Here, we're going to be very generous with our budgets. Again, we want to get as many sales as possible, so we don't want to run out of budget. We don't want to come to 12 p.m. and we run out of budget and we're not getting more sales during the day. So basically, you want to go as high as you can with the budgets to make sure that any campaign doesn't run out of budget. The total opposite in every single thing is in the maximize profit strategy, which you will use if you're using the smooth sailing launch strategy on Amazon. The bids here are going to be very conservative because you're trying to make as much profit as possible. Amazon is going to tell you the suggested bid for this keyword is $2. I'm going to bid $1. I'm going to check, give it a few days, check if I'm getting any impressions and clicks. If I'm not, I'm going to increase it to 1.1, 1.2, $1.30, $1.40. And then gradually increase it till I get enough impressions and enough clicks and start getting some data, right? But I'm not going to go with the suggested bid itself or higher than the suggested bid. When it comes to match types, I'm not going to use phrase match campaigns. I'm not going to use broad match campaigns. I'm not going to use automatic campaigns. I'm only going to use exact match campaigns. The budgets are going to be very low. We're going to start as low as possible. We don't want to spend $500 a day, $100 a day, and get 2 sales that are not profitable. We only want to get 1 sale a day that is profitable. In order for you to test, each campaign budget should cover at least the cost of acquisition of 1 sale. So I need to calculate roughly how much do I need to get at least 1 or 2 sales. The formula is very, very simple. What you're going to do is you're going to take 1 divided by your conversion rate. That will give you the number of clicks that you need to get a sale. So if your conversion rate is 10%, 1 divided by 0.10 or 0.1, that gives you 10 clicks. You need 10 clicks to get a sale. If your conversion rate is 15%, that means you need 1 divided by 0.15, that equal almost 7. That means you need 7 clicks to get a sale. If your conversion rate is 20, you need 5 clicks. If your conversion rate is 33%, you need 3 clicks. I need to know how many clicks do I need to get a sale. How to know the conversion rate? If you're already selling on Amazon, you already know your conversion rate. You go to your business reports and you'll find it under unit session percentage. If you don't sell on Amazon, or if this specific product is a new niche and you don't have any historical data, just use the average conversion rate on Amazon, which is 10%. So now we have the conversion rate and we have the number of clicks that we need to get a sale. Now, the only thing that we need to do is to multiply that number of clicks with the cost per click in order for us to get the minimum budget, right? If you need 10 clicks to get a sale and the average cost per click here is $1.5, that means you need at least $15 in order for you to get a sale. And that will be our minimum budget. But how to know the average cost per click? Just go and create a dummy campaign and you're going to see the suggested bid that Amazon is telling you. Amazon is going to give you a range, let's say 80 cents to $1.2, and the suggested bid will be in the middle, let's say $1. Or it's going to tell you $2 to $3 and the suggested bid is 2.6, for example. So if you already have an Amazon account, this is very easy to get. But if you don't have an Amazon account, you can also use softwares like Helium 10. You go and use Cerebro or use any of their keywords tool, and all of them, they have the suggested bid column. You can see the suggested bid for all these keywords, and you can average them out and get an idea of the average cost per click for this specific product for these specific search terms. So again, we have the conversion rate, we have the number of clicks that we need, and we have the cost per click. That will give us the minimum daily budget for 1 campaign. If we're going to have 3 campaigns, each of them need to cover at least the cost of acquisition of 1 sale. But what kind of ad types or ad formats are we going to use? The most successful ones that I personally use are number one, sponsor products campaigns. Whenever you create a campaign, you're going to have kind of two options. You want to target categories or products, or you want to target keywords, search terms. The second type is the video ads. SB means sponsored brands. Sponsored brands inside of it have three types of ads. We're only going to focus on two of these. One is video ads. In my personal experience, these are the best ads ever because around 70% of Amazon sellers do not have any videos on their listing. And from that 30%, only third actually advertise using their videos. So what does that mean? If there is a market that have 1,000 competing products, 1,000 sellers competing there, and they're all competing to show on the first page with the sponsored products, just the products showing, not a video, then everybody's going to bid higher in order for them to get the position and to get the impression and to get the click. The more competitive the niche is, the higher the CPC is, or the cost per click is. But again, with video ads, if there's not a lot of people competing on that specific placement, that video placement, that means the bids there are not very high. The competition there is not very high. Video ads also convert better. So you're going to get a cheaper cost per click, but at the same time, you're going to get a higher conversion rate. That will mean that the video ads will hopefully be cheaper and perform better than any other ads. At least from my own experience, video ads were always the best for me with Baby Sunnies and with this color. The third one that we're going to discuss is the collection ad. It's under sponsored brands, but it's a banner ad on the top of the page. This is the first thing that you would see on the search page, even before any other results. If you go to Amazon and search for anything, you're most probably going to see a collection banner on the top. There are many other types of campaigns. I would really recommend that you focus on these three types in the beginning and then branch to more types. Match types. We already talked about exact match, phrase match, and broad match. We understand what they mean on paper, right? But there is an advanced tip. The match type doesn't only affect where your ad is going to show and when your ad is going to show. It's also going to affect what type of customer your ad is going to show to. Amazon is going to show your ad from the exact match campaigns to the customers that they think are more likely to convert and buy now. Amazon will show your ad in the phrase match campaign to people that they think they're going to convert, but maybe not today. Maybe they're going to add it to their cart and buy it next week. Maybe buy it in 3 days. And then the broad match campaigns, Amazon are going to serve these to people who they think that are less likely to convert. This is something crazy that the algorithm does that Amazon even doesn't publicly say that. Amazon will give a quality score to every single customer, and they will also know their behaviors, and they will also know the times they buy. They know everything about their customers, right?